Hey, hi. Are you planning for an international trip and wondering how to make your payments abroad? Well, I'm Chetan, and in today's video, we'll be covering how you should make your payments abroad. From credit cards to Forex to cash, we'll be covering everything. So stay tuned to it. Video, I thought of making it some time back when there were queries about around from my friends that they've been struggling to understand if Forex card or a credit card is the best option and how much cash they need to carry. So while they were aware about that cash is important part of it, but they're not really sure how much cash do they really need to carry. So that's where I thought of to research a bit and create this video. So this video is all about going on a vacation. Since next month holiday will be approaching, summer holidays, so many people will traveling to go abroad. So stay tuned to it. We'll be covering lots of things. So if you feel like something new, if you learned something new from this video, please to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. So first we'll see like what all options are there. This is the plan for today. We'll see what all options are available today, and we'll learn about each of them, right? And we'll let for further see how which option suits you best, basis your requirement, and then some of my suggestions. Okay, so that's an agenda for today. First, basics. There are basically three ways to make a payment abroad. First is cash, the good old way of making a payment, cash. Second is the forex cards, prepaid forex cards, and the third is the credit cards. There are other things like traveler's check and traveler's check. I think that's the one. And nowadays we have UPI also available in most of the places. So I'm not covering those two because our traveler check is obsolete, almost gone. Um, UPI is very new and not available in many countries. So it's just handful of countries like UAE, some part of Australia, I think so. So that's where I'm covering these three major aspects of payment. Okay. So first is cash, almost obviously. So what's cash? So cash basically you get your Indian rupee converted to a rupee to pay your traveling, to a currency where you're traveling. So if you're traveling to Dubai, you will get an AED. You're traveling to Singapore, then you'll add Singaporean dollars and stuff like that. So we can use it cash. So cash is both beneficial and there are some limitations as well using the cash. So let's get into it, the pros and cons of it. So prawns, it's universally accepted. You don't need to worry about with the acceptance. Be it a big retail showroom or a small vendor on the street, everyone will accept the cash. So there's no problem as such with the cash acceptance. There's no transaction fee. You're not paying anything above at the exchange rate. Exchange is just one-time payment which you will make it while getting your money converted. So after that, you don't need to pay anything separate. So there's no markup fee, no transaction fee, no GST and all that. It's an immediate payment. You pay it, you get the service, or whatever product you're buying, you get it immediately. There's no stuff like you have to wait for the payment to process, the other person to receive and stuff like that. So, and your budget also remains in control because you know them. You had certain limitation to a cash. Be it whatever the amount you're carrying, you will have that money fixed, right? So your budget, your expenses remains in control. So these are some of the benefits of carrying a cash and making a cash payment. So what are the cons? So cons are like straightforward, risk of theft or loss. So obviously, if you're traveling abroad, you cannot carry huge cash along with you, right? Um, there's a risk of being theft. There's a risk of losing out that money. Even the government restrictions also comes into play in certain countries, and that's the same thing, right? So there's a limited amount of money which you can carry. While this the third con, which most people may not be aware about, the purchase protection. So for in credit cards, usually you have purchase protection, where if you buy something and if it doesn't get delivered, it's a fraud, it's a fake spam. So there's a purchase protection given option given by many cardholders. So MX Platinum Travel have that option, HDFC Infineon have that option. So they are very great cards. Very premium cards have this purchase protection services, which gives you guarantee for a certain amount of money, if in case of that get stop working, if that's spoiled or fraud or in certain cases. So that's an added advantage which you don't get in by making a payment in cash. So that's it about cash. Let's move next. Forex cards. Forex cards are like the prepaid cards. The forex card is issued by almost all the bankers in India. HDFC, ICICI, Axis. State May, SBI. So every bank have the Forex cards. So what Forex cards is? So Forex cards are like two types of Forex cards: the single currency and the multi-currency. So as the name suggests, single currency means like it will have the single currency like US dollar, Canadian dollar, Australian dollar. Then you have Indian rupee, then AED. So any one currency will be there loaded in that Forex card. While in multi-currency, you can load three to four, six, seven types of currency altogether, and then you can choose which currency to pay. So that's little convenient. So even if someone is going for a forex card, I would suggest you choose a multi-currency forex card, as these cards are like can be loaded with multiple currencies, making them perfect for travelers visiting multiple countries. For example, if you're planning for a trip, Vietnam and Singapore together, you can, instead of loading one Singaporean dollar, you can have the Vietnam currency as well. So in that case, it's helpful, right? So in case if you're traveling to multiple countries, you can do get your multi-currency forex card. So that's convenient. Okay. Now, what are the pros and cons? So there's a fixed exchange rate. So forex card, how does it work? You have to go to a banker. You have to tell them that you want a forex card. They'll ask you for certain documentation like your passport, visa, and stuff like that. Once you give those document requirement, they'll be charging you some amount to give you that card, the card issuance fee, can say that. So after you pay that fee, you have to tell them how much money you want in your card. So for example, if I'll go and tell like, oh, I want 1000 AED, so they'll expect the exchange rate, the live exchange rate. They will tell you the money you have to pay them. On top of it, there will be certain amount of transaction fee they want to charge. So that's the amount you have to pay them once time. So you can choose if you're like very keen on getting the best exchange rate, basis your trend. If you see a market, you can choose a day when you want to load your card. That day you can go, you feel that this is the lowest price I can get in this particular time frame. You can go to a bank, get that money loaded. So whatever money you get loaded by then, so the exchange will get fixed. That much of foreign currency you will have it in your account. Okay, so the exchange rate safety is there in forex card. Obviously, as I said earlier, you can load multiple currencies altogether. Expense tracking, since that card had a capacity to it, you can also track your expenses well. So on the app, on your banker's app, you can see how much balance is left in your forex card. And there's no foreign transaction fee, like unlike credit cards where you have to pay a markup fee. In forex card, you don't have to pay any markup fee. It's just like your a prepaid card, you can use it. For example, I have $100. I can, if I want to buy something for $1, I can simply show that card. The person will deduct, the shopkeeper will deduct $1, and then $99 I'll still have in my wallet or in that card. So that's the benefit of it. The cons, since it's a prepaid sort of a card, there is no reward point benefit. Uh, can Unlike credit card, you can submit reward points in shopping rupees 100 to 50, whatever. So that is not there in this forex card. You cannot use it domestically since the money is loaded in a specific currency. You cannot use this card for a domestic transaction. So, for example, if you're in India and you want to use that card, obviously you cannot use it. The biggest disadvantage of Forex card is the TCS of 5%, which is applicable if your expenses are above 7 lakh rupees. So that's a thing the which is a problem with the Forex card. So if you have a high foot pocket and you want to spend that much money, so obviously you might need to refrain from getting a Forex card. And that's 5% is a huge amount. Though you can claim it while filing your tax returns, you can adjust that money to your tax output. But again, for that fine, you have to pay that 5% extra. And the second most important, I would say, problem with the forex card is that you cannot. It's not very liquid. You cannot just. I wouldn't say liquid or flexible both, because whatever money you will load in India, you have to live with that. You cannot load your money in foreign being there. Okay, obviously then you have to request your family to go and load your card. So that's another way to do it, but that's a hassle. Asking someone in India to go on your behalf, banker, get the money loaded. There's a to and fro of money required. So that's a problem with the forex. Okay, so that's about the forex cards. Now we'll look at the credit card. So these are some of my favorites. I've also earlier also I made a video on credit cards on how the home run thing. So please do watch that video if you haven't. But this is the credit card we are talking about for making a payment and traveling abroad. So using a credit card, I would say, offer lots of benefits. Okay, and I have listed down the pros and cons. Let's get into it. So, first I'll talk about the cons, the problems with the credit card. Obviously, if you're paying your bills by credit card in abroad, there'll be a markup fee. So markup fee will be around 1.9 to I think 3.90% I have seen so far. Maximum I have seen 3.9. I have not seen anything above 3.9, and minimum I have seen 1.9. So HDFC, Infinia, Axis Atlas, SBI, um, even like CFC, which is earlier Gold, all these cards give you a very decent markup fee of 1.9%. While if you go for MX cards, they have 3.9 on the higher side. There's one card which I'll tell you at the end who offers, being a credit card from a bank, it still offers you 0% markup fee. Okay, so stay tuned to it. I'll let you know at the end. So that's the first problem with the credit card. The second problem is the exchange rate. So unlike Forex card, where exchange rate is defined at the time of loading a currency, here that's not the case because whenever you make a payment, at that point in time, whatever the exchange rate applicable, that's get considered for a payment. Okay, so that's one thing. The third problem, I think, since this money is on credit and you may have a higher limit on your credit card, the potential to overspend is a lot. Okay. So even I've seen a lot of my friends and colleagues traveling and they end up spending, they keep a budget of like six amount, 50,000, they end up spending like 80,000, 90,000. For that time, it's okay because if you're traveling Dubai, if you're traveling Singapore, these are very, very expensive cities to travel, right? So when you travel to these places, there are lots many things you think about, like, oh, पहली बार आया हूँ, and probably the last time I came in, let's do it. Okay, fine, I'll manage it. So that kind of thoughts go into the mind. So virtue of that thoughts, we sometimes end up spending more. So with credit card, you need to keep that control, otherwise you may go overboard on certain things. So that's another problem. And second, and the last problem I feel is now slowly, especially if traveling to a countries, bigger cities, you won't have this problem. But generally, you will have some places acceptance issues, like especially with the roadside vendors. Obviously, I don't think they will have a credit card machine. Uh, Now in India, you do have, still they have these scan codes, not the credit card machines. So credit acceptance is one problem I feel that could be a problem if you're traveling abroad. Okay. So what are the pros? Pros are too many, and I think that's my personal favorite also. Convenience, it gives you lots of convenience. Trust me, guys. Unlike Forex card, where you have to go to a banker just to upload money and certain things like that, but credit card is very convenient. Just a single credit card, 1.9% markup fee. That's it, you are done. So you can swipe your card, tap your card, pay your bills, no hassle. You can also keep a track of it. Okay. Rewards and benefits also there. Even many credit card issuers do provide extra benefit, extra rewards on foreign spending. So that benefit also there. You get the similar points. You can convert those points to your miles, air miles, and then you can also book hotels. So lots of benefits, right? And if you're spending around a lakh rupees in foreign going anywhere, that's a lot of points you can gather. It also acts as an emergency pool. For example, if you there somewhere in another country and lot of funds, you need something money on an urgent basis. I'm sure Forex and cash will have their own limitations, but credit card, and up to the limit of your credit, you can use that money. So at least for that moment, for that particular time frame, there's lots of money you can use it, right? And good part of credit card is that you don't have a 5% TCS clause in it, right? Unlike Forex card, where you have a 5% if your expenses go above 7 lakh rupees. In credit card, there's no limit as such, right? You don't have to pay any 5% over here. Though the government of India brought up that rule of TCS here also, but after certain pushback on June notification, they have rolled back. So for now, there's no TCS of 5%. And I said earlier, purchase protection is an important element. If you have one of those premium cards with you, you get that purchase protection also, and that's very important if you're traveling abroad, if you're making some big ticket purchases, especially online. Okay, so that's pretty in detail about cash, forex, and the credit cards. So you must be wondering, out of these three, what should I select now? So what is that best uh, balance between these three options? Okay. So I think using a mix of payment methods is always advisable. You should use both your credit cards and cash. Forex levels too, you can use Forex card also. They all offer you some sort of flexibility, some sort of security while traveling. Okay, so that is important. But uh, to my opinion, if you're mostly gonna shop from a local stores, like if you're going to a Singapore and if you want to shop lots of stuff from a street side shops, vendors, then probably they won't be accepting lots of cash, lots of credit cards. Like they won't be accepting cards and all. So then you need to keep lots of cash with you. I would suggest keeping 60 to 70% of cash in that case. See how much you have. So all your major bookings will be done online. You have credit, your hotel, your flight, your bookings would have been already done. The remaining is your expenses. In Singapore, if you're going, for example, you have to book your attractions. Attractions you will mostly use the apps to book for the attractions, and there you can pay it using your card and all. But the remaining expenses of food and local shopping, you have to do it by cash. So you can determine how much money you want to spend on those things, and that much money, or at least 70% of that money, you can carry in cash. If you're planning to spend, let's say, 50,000 rupees in INR buying all those things, you can at least keep 40,000 rupees in cash, converting into a Singaporean dollar for that cash transaction purpose. But if you are a traveler who prefers to buy it from a high-end mall store, or you prefer to eat in a restaurant and all that stuff, then you don't need that much cash because all those places will generally accept your card also. In that case, you can still keep your 30-35% of the overall budget in cash. So in a best way, in a balanced way, for example, if different between persons, at least 30 to 40% of cash is advisable. Planning to spend like lakh rupees, put some 30,000 rupees in cash, and remaining you can choose between your Forex or a credit card, or maybe a credit card. Okay, in both the case, I would suggest you to have both cash and credit card. Now, you must be now thinking that what about Forex card? So why not Forex card? I'm suggesting. So Forex card is an important, but the problem is this. These are the main problem with the Forex cards. They don't come up with lots of benefits. There are no reward points. There's no benefits as such, like airport launch access. In credit card, you get a launch access as well. They're also liable for 5% TCS. I think this point though not be applicable for majority of people, but for those who spend a lot, for example, you're going to Dubai and want to buy 2-3 iPhones for your friends and families. I've seen, it's not exaggerating. I have seen people buying 3 iPhones at a time, so it's not exaggeration. So 5% taxes is too much, and there's no reward points as well. So that's the biggest problem with the Forex cards. And then the flexibility point is another aspect of it. So I would recommend getting a credit card for most of expenses. That's my personal favorite. And nowadays there are great companies like Scapia, Neo. They're offering mind-blowing benefits, competitive products which are like disrupting the forex market. They have something like zero markup fees. They have launch accesses. They have annual or joining fees. They have reward points. So you can do a lot. There are a lot of benefits with these new age cards. All those who are not so confident about KPI and Neo, they can also go for HDFC Infinia, Axis Atlas, and now RBI World Safari. They're having a zero markup fee. So just like the Neo and your KPI, they also have a zero markup fee. So you can go for these cards. They're equally competitive. They are best in their class. They offer lots of flexibility and convenience as well. So that's about it, guys. If you feel that there's something I missed out, if you want to know about some aspect of it, do comment. I'll be happy to cover that as well. And it's a new channel. Please subscribe to it if you feel that is important, something you have learned today. There are certain other videos on credit cards, home loan, house rent payment. So do watch that video as well. Thank you so much.